the ability to read, write, and analyze, the confidence to stand up and demand justice and equality, the qualifications and connections to get your foot in the door and take your seat at the table. All of that starts with education. Welcome to Masomo News Live, exclusive to the award-winning TV station Maisha Television. Coming up.
Tunaona kisasi kichacho kikiangamia na kukosa mwelekeo kwa masomo yao. Kwa hivyo serikali iangalie, ifanye jukumu.
Ni mwalimu mmoja against 14 subjects na hiyo imetukasirisha.
Muget Primary School parents stormed the school due to lack of teachers.
Sikuweza kuwa na fedha yenye ilikuwa inahitajika. Sasa ndio maana ako nyumbani.
Niliendanga nikapata mama mwingine nikamwambia kanaweza okote hizo vitu. Akaniambia ni sawa, nikakuwa nikiokotanga ninampea 120 ama 100. Hizo ndo pesa ilikuwa hapo. Halafu mimi nakuja napea mama yangu.
Grade 7 student from Mukuru Kwanjenga in Nairobi forced to work in a dump site.
It is better they give us an increment in the salary, then we also accept that it is deducted. But never shall we. We'll defend this one to the last drop of our blood.
Kenya National Union of Teachers Migori branch officials threatens to demonstrate if 3% deduction is implemented. All right, Faith Shikanga is my name. Hasoko Boys School, located in Bumula constituency, Bungoma County, has been closed indefinitely by the school board after an outbreak and known illness that led to a student's death. The Ministry of Health in Bungoma County is investigating the outbreak and has begun conducting para-health assessment of the affected students and staff. It is reported that on May 17th, a student fell sick and went to hospital where he was treated of malaria and returned to school. At least 47 students developed complaints of malaria-like symptoms, with 2 complaining of abdominal pains and were taken to Bumula. On Wednesday, the board met and the Director of Education resolved to close down the school.
Visa havina uhusiano kwa sababu kile kisa kilichotokea wakati ule ilikuwa kama ugonjwa ambao mwanafunzi alikuwa nao hapa awali ndiye akafika kwa shule. Lakini baada ya hicho kifo kutokea, kama Wizara ya Afya, idara ya Public Health, tuliweza kuenda kwa shule, tukaweka mikakati ya afya ya umma, tukachukua hata maji tukapeleka kwa Public Health, National Public Health Laboratories, na vyakula zikapimwa na ikapatikana iko salama. Kando na hayo, maafisa wetu waliingia huko wakafanya mambo ya ukaguzi na kuweka mikakati ya afya na usafi kabisa. Na vile shule zilikuwa zinafunguliwa, maafisa wetu walienda wakishirikiana na wale maafisa wa idara ya maji, tukafanya ile kuweka dawa katika mabwawa ya maji yote kwa shule, chlorination. Tuliweka chlorine na pia usafi ukafanywa. Lakini kisa hichi ambacho kimetokea ni kwamba kilianzia tarehe 17 kulingana na habari ambao tulipata na kama afisa wetu, na mwanafunzi alikufia hapa katika hospitali ya referral na alikuwa na dalili ya kama vile malaria, yani kuchoka, joto na kichwa kuuma, na natumai kwamba watafanya postmortem na tutajua shida ilikuwa nini. Kutokana na hiyo, wanafunzi walishikwa na hamaki karibu 47 wakapelekwa katika hospitali ya Bumula na wakafanywa ukaguzi na wakapimwa malaria, na wakapatikana 6 peke yake kutokana na wale 47, na 2 walikuwa wanalalamika tumbo, wakapimwa hawakupatikana na matatizo yoyote, na wakaweza kutibiwa wale 6 wakarudishwa nyumbani. Kwa vile tunaongea hivi, hakuna mwanafunzi ambayo ako pengine admitted. Wanafunzi licha kwamba shule kufungwa, hakuna mwanafunzi ambaye ako admitted, wala hakuna mwanafunzi ambaye alikuwa katika hali mahututi kutokana na pengine kuambukizana. Kama Wizara ya Afya, kitu cha kwanza tunakagua kuangalia hali ya usafi na tunatoa elimu. Jambo la pili ambao tumejadiliana na shule kwamba siku ya Jumamosi watafanya ile tunaita indoor residual spraying dhidi ya umbu. Kutakuwa na kuspray shule nzima Jumamosi. Na vile vile wanafunzi ambao vile wametumwa nyumbani, kumekuwa na makubaliano kwamba watakuja na zile tandarua, the net, watarudi kila mwanafunzi ili tuweze kukabiliana na maambukizi pengine ya malaria.
All right, away from that, all university students who qualified for university placement will be eligible for funding. However, the level of funding for each student will depend on the monthly household income, and each student will individually apply for the scholarship and loans soon after receiving admission letters. William Juma tells us more.
In the new funding model effect with the admission of the 2022 KCSE candidates into the universities, the government will now seek to channel higher education assistance directly to individual students based on a carefully curated criteria. Those seeking financial aid from the government have been classified into 4 categories: the vulnerable, the extremely needy, the needy, and the less needy. Under the Higher Education Loans Board, means testing instrument, those students falling under the vulnerable and extremely needy band will qualify 100% government funding for their studies, with the money coming up as a scholarship and loans, and those deemed to be needy and less needy will get a 93% government funding, with the students bearing 7% of the tuition cost.
When the president was making his speech, he said 45,000 students from the university will not pay a cent. 42,000 from the Tibet will also not pay a cent. So we want to be able to follow some of these people and actually know that, see the actual impact of this.
The new funding model also seeks to ensure accountability and transparency in the application and funding of higher education that shall consider, amongst other things, the applicant's family socio-economic background. Affirmative action will also be considered, people living with disability, orphans, and those from marginalized areas, as well as gender considerations, the applicant's household composition and size. This data will have to be validated by strategic partners. The funding will also take into account the individual cost of the student's course.
The elephant in the house, what is the fees? The actual question, what are students going to pay? When we talk of 7%, we want to be able to unpackage that today.
The process begins this month with the opening of the COOPS portal and placement that seeks to ensure that the 173,000 students qualified to join university are placed in the country's university between July and September. Those candidates will then apply for government funding before the funds disbursement in August and September, and the beginning of the first year of studying the government is taking to link placement of students and funding of students in this new model that it is also hopes will promote equality, efficiency, and transparency in the higher education funding.
The most difficult thing to deal with, because when we are talking of a budget cuts in government, population is growing. How do you continue having the word government sponsored and yet we are sponsoring everyone? When we were now coming up with the model, cracking that and deciding that we need to amend the act to remove the government-sponsored part.
Universities and TVETs will no longer receive, under the new funding model, block funding in form of grants based on differentiated unit costs. The government has resolved that university funding will henceforth be student-centered and be apportioned to individual students according to their level of need. In our TVET institutions, 42,000 students this year will equally be funded fully by the government of Kenya. Their parents will contribute nothing. For the first time, students whose households are at the bottom of the pyramid shall enjoy equal opportunity in accessing university and TVET education.
For Masomo News Live, Maisha Television, I'm William Juma.
A big thank you, William, for that report. The Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Services says the new university's funding model will ensure students who require sponsorship are given the funding by merit. Speaking in Naivasha during a workshop with stakeholders in the education sector, KUSP CEO Dr. Mercy Wahome said students from vulnerable backgrounds will be considered to ensure that financially capable students pay their fee. Dr. Wahome pointed out there is a need for accurate data on students who have been placed under the central placement services to ensure 100% transition from secondary to tertiary level of education.
The most difficult thing to deal with, because when we are talking of a budget cuts in government, population is growing. How do you continue having the word government sponsored and yet we are sponsoring everyone? When we were now coming up with the model, cracking that and deciding that we need to amend the act to remove the government sponsored part.
Now elsewhere, parents and guardians planning to send students to universities this September are facing a fees shocker after the universities announced raised cost of programs in a new government funding model announced last month. Fee details published in the Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Service this month showed that first-year students will pay up to 600,000 annually for a degree program in public universities in the new funding model. Mary Magdalene, what a name, tells us more.
Parents and guardians of students seeking university education in private institutions will have to take off close to 500,000 Kenya shillings annually, which translates to up to 2 million shillings at the end of a 4-year degree university calendar. According to university fees enlisted in the new funding model under the placement portal, a first-year student that is taking a Bachelor of Law degree course in a private university will pay as high as 335,000 shillings annually compared to 183,600 shillings paid by a student pursuing the same course in a public university. Students that are taking technical courses such as engineering and medicine will pay high amounts, with the government insisting that it will no longer provide scholarship for students enrolling in private universities. Close to 700,000 out of 870,000 students who sat the 2022 KCSE examinations have missed out on direct university qualification education. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu, while launching the investment and university fee integrated portal at the University of Nairobi, announced that only 173,127 students attend the direct university enrollment after securing a grade C+ and above in the 2022 KCSE examinations.
The whole idea is premised on the fact that each student should be treated based on the level of their need, and that no deserving student should be denied an opportunity to acquire higher education and training in the institution of their choice.
We are funding the student. We kept saying we need to fund the student, not the university. Because when you fund the university, really they would compromise on even quality.
Confirm that we have enough capacities in these institutions to admit all students who will apply for placement to the various programs.
Out of the 173,000 who qualify to join universities, only 45,000 from struggling households will attain full government scholarship during their entire coursework. at public universities. The government insisting that there is learning capacity to enroll all the 869,782 students who sat the 2022 KCSE examination. However, the entire 869,000 students who sat the 2022 KCSE examinations will have to be squeezed in less than 300 countrywide accredited learning institutions that include 39 public universities, 33 private universities, 3 secondary teachers training colleges, and 205 TVET colleges. Learners have until August this year to select courses enlisted in the newly integrated placement portal.
Any student, any parent will make a choice of the university that he wants to go. If you choose Nairobi University, for example, you want to do medicine, you have an A, you will be able to know the fees structure of Nairobi University, fees are free, Moi University, which is also offering the same course medicine, so that you go to that particular university.
It is very clear that we have capacity in our universities, and when we say we leave it for students to choose between private and public, then it just means we are at the same spot. Yes. We are at the same position and we're in the same spot.
For Masomo News Live, Maisha Television, my name is Mary Magdalene Nekesa.
Now, thank you so much for that, Magdalene. The government has defended the scrapping of grants and scholarship to private universities, saying there has been no transparency and accountability in utilization of the 13 billion shilling disbursed to the institutions in the last 6 years. The Kenya Association of Private Universities has protested the move, saying there should be fair and equitable access and financing of university education for the country to fully tap into its human resource potential. Mesh Musimbi tells us more.
In explaining further why the government stopped funding private universities under the new integrated placement model for the 2023 first-year students, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu says there is lack of accountability for 13 billion Kenya shillings disbursed to private universities over the last 6 years.
The 13 billion that we have been able to give private universities for the last 6 years or so. The only time that they were audited was 2018-2019. And you cannot be able to give public funds to an entity which is not being subjected to audit.
The Kenya Association of Private Universities, in opposing the government's move, stated that an advertisement on local dailies that there should be fair and equitable access and financing of university education in order for the country to fully tap into its human resource potential. The association officially notifying students seeking to enjoy the government's has delinked funding private university students under the 2023 placement by Kenya universities and college central placement service.
To be able to apply for a loan in higher education loan spot, and they will be given a loan, but the only thing you will not be able to be given is a scholarship.
Na hii ni accountability ya public resources, kwa sababu hii pesa sio ya rais, pesa sio ya waziri, pesa sio ya mwenyekiti, pesa ni ya umma na itumike kwa mambo ya umma.
A spot check in the 2023 placement by Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement portal by Maisha Television also shows that the cost of critical courses such as medicine in public universities is expensive. JKUAT, Moi, Maseno and Kenyatta universities charge 612,000 in year 1 for Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. A first-year student pursuing the same course at the University of Nairobi will pay 592,500 in year 1, with Egerton University offering the course at 337,944 for year 1. The Education Cabinet Secretary, while meeting the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Education, stated that his ministry is working on modern methods of curbing examination cheating.
Was there credibility or no credibility? Or it was just hot air?
What our students got was the real grades. And that information being perpetrated, the kind of propaganda we are getting is unfounded. The 2022 KCSE examination was credible, integrity was not compromised.
Did it not prick your conscience to take further investigations to ascertain the abnormal curve that has been attained by this?
Until and unless there is a demonstrated evidence that there was cheating in a school, we cannot punish a child merely because their performance has improved.
The ace was spread countrywide, and the fact and the allegation made, and then on the social media and the media, that there were 946 ace from Kisii and Nyamira counties was a falsehood that was being peddled to kind of mess the credibility and the integrity of the exam.
For Masomo News Live, Maisha Television, I'm Mesh Msimbi.
In another 2 weeks' time, we want to ensure that they are won to each and every school, and that undertaking I personally make before this committee.
Now, Education CS Ezekiel Machogu says the government remains committed to improving learning in all schools, adding that despite the challenges the schools are grappling with, they will soon receive capitation to ease learning in all schools. This comes as stakeholders in the education sector call upon the ministry to expedite the process amidst a glaring teacher shortage in the country. Rida Chebet with more.
As the Ministry of Education races against time to stabilize public schools which are facing teacher shortages, especially at the junior secondary school level, and delays in disbursement of capitation, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu now says the government remains committed in ensuring learners continue to accessing education despite the current challenges. Machogu, who was speaking at Mobamba Secondary School in Nyaribai Masaba during a prize-giving ceremony, said that the capitation money for both junior and senior secondary schools will hit accounts soon.
Capitation money which government gives, it is going to give the money again this year and the years to follow, because senior secondary like Mobamba, you know, the amount we give per student is 22,240, and then the week coming, teachers, I'm sure you are anxious. I want to make an undertaking that you are going to get capitation money for senior secondary.
Machogu admitted that there is a gap in teacher-student ratio and that they are working around the clock to address it in the next fiscal year.
So as government, not only for Mawamba, you know, we had 30,000 this year, and progressively as the economy of this country improves, we are hoping that the next financial year we are also likely to get a similar number so that we are able to mitigate on that program of teachers.
A section of lawmakers from the vast Gusii region want more teachers to be absorbed and promotion of teachers to be structured. They say the region lacks enough teachers who are on TSC payroll.
I have proposed a radical bill in Parliament to amend the TSC Act so that your promotion is not guesswork. It's automatic, it's predictable, and it's obvious. And that bill will get a big support in Parliament so that our teachers don't stagnate forever.
Vile tulifukuza wale commissioners wa IEBC waliokuwa wanacheza na kura, that is, hiyo ndio wembe tunataka tuone ikienda kwa commissioners wa TSC, wale wanapea watu mabarua kwenda kuwekwa kwa bedroom na choo zao, ili hali kuna walimu wanangoja wapate ajira hawapati.
The Ministry of Education through the CS has now promised to revitalize infrastructure in schools for smooth running of learning programs. For Masomo News Live, Maisha Television, I'm Rida carrying Chebet.
Now elsewhere, the Ministry of Education has affirmed that the Kenya National Examination Council is reviewing the examination cheating penalties. One proposed amendment to the NEC Act is that any person found disseminating fake examination papers before or after the assessment may face 5 years imprisonment or a fine of 5 million shillings or both. However, the Ministry of Education has maintained that the 2022 KCSE examinations were above board.
3 cases of attempted impersonation. The imposters were arrested and charged in court. NEC, through the Teacher Service Commission and the National Police Service, replaced about 300 contracted professionals in instances where it was found that the personnel were not performing their roles as per the examination rules and guidelines.
The instructions are usually very clear to them. These are confidential documents. Do not share them. But these advanced instructions do not come with the questions, as the CS was explaining. They don't come with the questions that the candidates will be given. They only tell you, prepare these particular specimens.
A person who, before or during an examination, negligently or willfully assists or causes an examination paper, material or information, or any part thereof, be shared on any digital media platform, commits an offence and is liable upon conviction to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years or a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or both. We will increase the number of containers to ensure proximity to each examination center. Center managers will also be required to correct examination papers just before the exam time, both in the morning and in the afternoon. This will eliminate the risk of eye exposure.
Now let's focus a bit on Uasin Gishu County. Angry parents of Moget Primary School in Moiben, Uasin Gishu County, stormed the public school and locked all the classrooms over what they said was the lack of teachers for junior secondary school pupils in the school. The irate parents accused the Ministry of Education at both counties and national level of neglecting their children, saying only 2 junior secondary school teachers were posted to teach 45 pupils.
Ni mwalimu mmoja against 14 subjects, na hiyo imetukasirisha. Tunashinda kwa nini serikali kama hii system haifanyi vizuri, siondolewe na turudi kwa 844 na walimu hao wengine waendelee.
Tunaona kisasi kichacho kikiangamia na kukosa mwelekeo kwa masomo yao. Kwa hivyo serikali iangalie, ifanye jukumu na kuhakikisha kwamba infrastructure yote imewekwa katika hali ambayo inahitajika.
Management imekuwa chini, hata ukiangalia madarasa si madarasa ambayo inastahili mtoto wa mtu akue ndani.
Stima hata imekatwa kwa sababu hizo pesa hazipeanwi, kwa sababu tusipofanya namna hiyo hao watoto wetu watafanya preps namna gani jioni, ama wakati ambapo kuna giza watafanya namna gani? Ukiangalia yale madarasa unaweza fikiri ng'ombe inaishi ndani. Nini za chini zote simiti imekulika.
Since evolution ianzishwe. Kwa nini hatujawahi ona waziri wa elimu wa county akisunguka hata katika mashule? Hii imetukasirisha sana. Na hasa Moiben sub county. Moiben sub county masomo iko chini. Tunataka serikali, CS Machogu na President Ruto wakae wakijua watoto wetu ni wenye wameamua kukata generation na kumaliza.
Now allow me to take a short break. I'll be right back with more.
The Kuza Awards 2023 is here. Last year, you, our beloved viewer, made us winner in the fastest growing category. This year's theme is shaping the future of broadcasting towards a creative economy. To vote for Maisha TV as your best TV station in news, entertainment and education, SMS the word Kuza to 15601 and select Maisha TV. The SMS is absolutely free.
Navaholo
Technical and Vocational College in Navaholo Sub-County of Kakamega County is a center of excellence in building and civil engineering. The college management is happy to announce that January 2022 intake is ongoing for holders of both KCPE and KCSE for artisans, certificate and diploma courses in building technology, civil engineering, land survey, plumbing, carpentry and joinery, welding and fabrication, water engineering, ICT, resource management, social work, supply and chain management, general agriculture, and many more. We are registered by the Ministry of Education as a TVET institution and an examination center for NEC and CASNEB examinations that boasts of coveted learning activities, facilities sitting on a 5.5-acre land purchased by NGCDF Navaholo constituency at par with national standard.
I am the principal of Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, situated in Navaholo constituency. We opened the doors for the students in January 2020. We have 4 departments which we offer. It is in fact a center of excellence in the building and civil engineering. So we have a building and civil engineering department, we have ICT department, we have new departments which are now becoming business department and agriculture department. So we have courses in such. We are welcoming students from all over Kenya, especially around the institution, as we said, is in Navaholo.
Navaholo Technical and Vocational College is located 1 kilometer from Navaholo Division headquarters near Chebeyusi Secondary School and 400 meters off Kakamega Nambacha Bungoma Road. We admit all government and private sponsored students under Kenya Universities and Colleges Placement Service. Welcome to Navaholo Technical and Vocational College. We value quality education and offer superb training to students at affordable school fees. The government will pay 30,000 shillings as bursary. In addition, Higher Education Loans Board gives 40,000 shillings for school fees and pocket money, which is available, thus the training is nearly free. Call us now, 0721 58 9977. That is 0721 58 9977. Email us at navaholotvc@gmail.com. Intake is now going on with applications. Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, Center of Excellence in Building and Civil Engineering.
What is your power? Focus, find your flow, stay determined, be fearless, harness your power, do the work, give it your best. Go further with UC 1000 orange and lemon water isotonic drinks with 1000 milligrams of vitamin C. Rehydrate, replenish, and protect. Feel refreshed. You are power.
Because how do you come to my place na umewacha mume wako ako stuck mahali? Yeye ndiye anasubiri osha manguo, wewe umekuja kuosha nguo zangu. Just go back, wash nguo zako na apike chai. Yes, watoto wako pasta. By the way,
if you are a business person, you have to advertise your products. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes. 1 million viewers watching us. Daily news, highly visited website. And so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us 074-6999-841 or write to info@myshottv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it.
It's easy to just cover the news. What we're doing is hard, creating a morning news experience that's prepared to to prepare you for anything, where curiosity meets context and investigations lead to impact. Finding meaningful stories takes more drive. Getting to the truth takes more determination. Finding real solutions takes more understanding. It's not easy, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Finding real solutions takes more understanding.
Now welcome back. I'm so glad you're still tuned in. Faith Shikanga is my name. A grade 7 student from Mukuru Kwanjenga in Nairobi has been forced to work in a dump site to make ends meet as her mother lacks the money to cater for her school fees. For 3 months, 13-year-old Gloria Amisi has been collecting reusable items at the dump site and selling them to supplement her mother's income as she struggles to educate her 2 siblings in Form 1 and Form 2.
Sikuweza kuwa na fedha yenye ilikuwa inahitajika. Sasa ndio maana ako nyumbani.
Niliendanga nikapata mama mwingine nikamwambia kanaweza okote hizo vitu. Akaniambia ni sawa, nikakuwa nikiokotanga ninampea 120 ama 100. Hizo ndo pesa ilikuwa hapo. Halafu mimi nakuja napea mama yangu.
Nimeenda huko mara 5. Teacher akinirudisha. Ananirudisha, ananiambia nitafute pesa. Kuna huyo mwenye ako Form 2, nile tu ni struggle hapa juu chini ndio niweze kupeana pesa. Kuna mwenye ako Form 1, nimekuwa na hard time but Mungu alisaidia nikapata chenye nilipata, akaenda shule.
Sipendi kufanya hiyo kazi, lakini nataka niingie shule ili nikuwe daktari, ninue maisha ya mamangu hadi.
TS Machogu atilie jambo la 100% transition, whether ni Form 1 ama ni grade 7, aitilie mkazo.
And a section of parents in Mugumo area, Nyandarua County, are keeping their children away from schools for fear of contracting an unknown disease. This follows the demise of one student from St. Mary's Primary School, with his family suspecting that he may have contracted the illness at the school that may have led to his death.
Friday ndio alienda shule, tena akarudi juu ya homa. Nikampeleka hospitali na akapewa dawa. Kuja tukarara na asubuhi yake ndio niliona bado mtoto sio mzuri. Tulipofika hospitali, daktari alimchukua mtoto na kutambua mtoto tayari ameshaenda.
Mtoto alipotoka nyumbani alikuwa ametoka nyumbani akiwa mzima na hakuwa na shida. Hata tukienda kufanya postmortem, hakuna mwalimu tunaraumu, hakuna jirani tunaraumu. Sasa ni kuridhika tu na tuseme yote Mungu anajua.
Sijaridhika. Bado najiuliza mtoto wetu alikufa kwa nini? Tunasema aligojeka wapi?
Sasa hii shida ni lazima iwe imeonekana katika shule ile, sababu mtoto akitoka nyumbani kwa mama yake anaenda shule kufanya investigation ya kutosha, shida ionekane.
Mimi msaidizi ningeomba ni kusaidiwa katika hii gharama ya malishi.
What a sad story. Now elsewhere, Education CS Ezekiel Machogu is assuring parents that day secondary school students will not miss out on the education funds. This comes in the wake of the revelation that 1 million day secondary school learners risk missing out on capitation due to a shortfall of 22 billion shillings. Education PS Belio Kipsang recently admitted that some students in day secondary schools have not received the 22,240 shillings capitation per student. Kipsang also revealed that grade 8 learners have not been factored in the next financial year, which could lead to a looming capitation crisis.
Unga imepanda na vitu zingine za matumizi ya nyumbani. Kwa hivyo serikali ikilipa school fees kidogo, ile imebaki wazazi watamendeni kulipa.
Unajua kuna ile masomo ya CBC. Hiyo masomo kwanza ni expensive. Kama ingewezekana serikali ingekata hiyo masomo, irudishe ile ya zamani.
Wazazi watakimbia. Na watoi wengi watamisridiwa kwa sababu akikaa pale nyumbani opportunity ya kupata mimba ama kuharibika ama kuvuta ma drugs inakuwa high.
In fact, JSS, you can find in one school, the government has posted only one teacher or two teachers.
Waendelee tu kupeana the money for capitation. Asikose.
I think what we didn't realize is that in the next financial year, we shall have grade 7 and grade 8. So grade 8 is not fully funded. So while we have told Kenyans we are funding at 22,000, yes, we are not giving the full story.
In senior secondary, we give 22,240, and this year we are on course. We are going to give capitation to the figures which have been.
Now elsewhere, in a bid to elevate themselves from mental challenges occasioned by the nature of their work, prison warders from central Kenya have resorted to engage in sporting competitions. The competitions are anticipated to go a long way in boosting their morale at work.
Games are so good to officers in that currently, we have stress levels are so high. So in the event that officers are engaged in these activities, then you find even teamwork.
Wakati unatoka kazi unapata ile refreshment ya michezo, at least inasaidia, inatoa ile mawazo yenye ulikuwa umepatana huko ndani, so inasaidia.
We enhance the teamwork and we build capacity amongst ourselves by interacting with each other, and that ends up even bringing the moral of those up.
The National Council for Persons Living with Disability has launched a scholarship program to fulfill the promise as per Article 43 of the Constitution that grants every person the right to education. Here is more.
We are currently about 400 students under this program. A key lesson we learned from this is that there is a need for additional funding to cover more students. As history teachers, advocacy, particularly persuasive advocacy, is a key instrument in reaching out to stakeholders and shifting hearts and minds, bringing about the change.
Article 43 of the Constitution grants every person, including persons with disability, the right to education. For long, persons with disabilities have encountered a lot of challenges as they seek to access education opportunities. These challenges vary from the cost of education itself to accessing built environment.
We join the Council and stakeholders in the disability sector in calling for a restatement of the indicator into the performance contract until such a time as we shall see disability inclusion a reality for all.
Na hii mguu yangu ambao imevunjika imenisaidia kwenda bunge, imenisaidia kwenda Iyala, imenisaidia silipi ushuru, imenisaidia na import vehicle duty free. Ama namna gani?
Cabinet Secretary.
Now, Ruth Kiptui Girls High School in Baringo County has fundraised over 1 million shillings for 60 needy students in the belated Mother's Day celebrations held early this week. It was an event that saw parents, students, teachers, and local leaders contribute towards the education of the girl child.
If you are mother of the constituents, amtakosa kitu the second week kutoka mimi.
We are really grateful, want to thank God for all the mothers of our girls, all the mothers from far and near that were able to come over and celebrate with us.
Nataka tu niwahimize tu mashule zingine tuige huu mfano, tukue hata tutengeneze siku ya kusaidia watoto ambao hawajiwezi kwa mashule zetu.
Able to identify some students, 60 of them across the classes from Form 1 to Form 4. These are students who come from especially those war-torn areas, areas like Loruk, Tiati. So what we do for these girls, we do all the shopping and then we raise school fees. We have been doing it with the teachers and our students, and so I decided to extend it to the mothers, and later on we shall be bringing on board everybody from the community and even the county as a whole. This money, the guidance and counseling team is going to sit down and divide it. Then we pay to the school, we raise the receipts and call their parents to receive that receipt. This now, once they receive this receipt, that is the only school fees that we shall be charging this girl this year, because we only have this event once per year.
Now, such a good initiative from Kiptui girls. Now, Kenya National Union of Teachers Migori branch officials have threatened to mobilize their members for a mass action if the 3% housing levy deduction is implemented. Migori branch executive secretary Roslyn Wandigi said the teachers will not be intimidated to give in to unnecessary demands imposed on the civil servants in form of tax increase. Her sentiments were echoed by the branch treasurer Felix Olo, who said the move will only overburden taxpayers who are already bearing the brunt of a struggling economy.
The person to talk about our houses, and in real sense, if I want to build a house, we have been given house allowance, and out of the house allowance we have been using it, and we have also built these houses. Some of our members are almost retiring, so we're wondering where we want to take the houses that we already have, and why would the government just want to go to take us to Nairobi to build houses?
Teachers have not been added even a single cent for a period of years now. Why tax? It is better they give us an increment in the salary, then we also accept that it is deducted. But never shall we. We'll defend this one to the last drop of our blood. We'll mobilize the teachers, and even the strike, this is being communicated from down right from class to the national, that teachers will be out to defend this one.
Now elsewhere, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the government will soon release capitation funds to technical, vocational and educational training institutions to enable them meet their obligations. The Deputy President says the release funds from the exchequer had been delayed as the government collected more funds.
I am glad to note that the government has made available a budget of 1.05 billion in the 2023/2024 financial year to construct the first 15 TTIs. Further, I'm glad to note that Nyeri County already has TVET institutions in all the 6 constituencies and 28 vocational training centers, or the village polytechnics as originally known, under the management of the county government. This is an enormous resource for the youth of this country.
All right, I am so sure you love it, and so do I. It's time for our favorite Lens of Education. Founded in 2012, Bujumbura Girls High School, located in Butula sub-county in the large Busia County, has been one of the most admirable schools offering quality education to the girl child.
I'm called Madam Jezabeth Oulo, Senior Principal, Bujumbura Girls. Bujumbura Girls is located in Busia County, Butula sub-county, about 2 kilometers from Bumala Market, which is on Busia-Kisumu Highway. Apart from being a principal of Bujumbura Girls within Butula sub-county, I'm the chairperson sports, Butula sub-county, from 2012, and having been in that office last year, we had 2 teams proceeding to East and Central Africa, coming from Butula that is in rugby sevens and from Butula Boys, and netball from Bumala AC. I was posted to this school in 2019, January. The school is 12 years old. It was started in 2010. When I reported, the population of the school was 200. As we are talking now, we have a population of 315 girls.
In academics, Bujumbura Girls High School has maintained an upward trend, the tendency that has made parents to enroll their children in the institution for the quality and competency skills in all fields of learning.
As far as performance is concerned, actually when I came to this school, my motto was Operation E Out. And I want to say that so far so good. We have not been able to score any mean grade E, as much as we have E in subjects at subject level, but mean grade of E has not been realized in this school since 2019. The mean has also improved from 3.3 in 2019 to the current mean of 4.26. This has not just come, but it has meant doing a lot of work, which includes ensuring monitoring on syllabus coverage on weekly basis. This is a report that is submitted by the HODs every week, the report on the syllabus covered. We usually come up with our term dates or calendar of activities within the school, which outlines our examinations, times, how the revision is done, and we have a very active academics committee that is composed by board members that always meets very frequently to help in monitoring in the syllabus coverage and academic programs.
The school sponsor, which is the SK Church, has played an important role in the discipline enhancement through moral pastoral programs that has contributed much in the school academics.
Allow me also to say special thanks to our sponsor for the spiritual nourishment. We have our Sunday services that is usually led by our school chaplain. We have a school chaplain. Then we have a church teacher. So they usually work in conjunction, the two. And occasionally we also offer Holy Communion that is presided over by Reverend Obuya, who is the vicar in charge.
The modern and attractive structures in the school has given the school a new face and conducive learning environment for the students and teaching staff.
With the support of the parents and board of management, plus the CDF and the Ministry of Education, we have been able to put up a few infrastructure in place, and this includes 4 classrooms. And I want to report that all the classrooms in this school are tiled, so we don't have issues of bad floors. We have also managed to improve sanitation and drainage of the school. The staff houses have been improved, and there are also a dormitory that has been renovated. Using funding from the ministry, we have been able also to drill water. So we have a borehole that supplies water at all points in the school. We are also privileged to have been awarded 3 CBC classrooms, and that has really boosted the number of our classrooms that we need. In 2018, the school was single streamed, but as we are talking now, we have double stream. Hence, we really needed these classrooms.
The school administration has acknowledged the level of discipline displayed by the girls.
I'm Rosa Walumasi Odemba Ndunga, Deputy Principal, Bujumbura Girls. As a Deputy Principal, academics and discipline is very important in a school. Actually, a deputy principal is like the engine, the workshop of a school that manufactures the end product, which is the results of a given school. And this rotates around good discipline and order in a given school. The deputy principal has to ensure the daily school routine is observed to the letter. She has to ensure everything is running from morning up to close of the day. So you have to wake up early, ensure that you supervise everything, and be the last to go to bed when the girls have finally gone to the dormitories and have settled down. So for this, discipline is important.
Bujumbura Girls High School participates actively in journalism, hockey, music, science, and engineering affairs, among other sporting activities.
Our school is also involved in co-curriculum activities. In athletics, we have managed to take a few of our students up to regional levels. We also participate in music, and we have a very strong football team. At the same time, we are also training netball as well as volleyball disciplines. Concerning the discipline of our girls, I think this is an area that has really made us to be a school of choice within this environment.
We also do some counseling to advise them that you have been punished because of this and that, and you're not just out to mete out some pain in you, to inflict pain in you, but we are also correcting you in a good manner so that in future you can fit well in the society. Then of course, apart from slashing, apart from picking off rubbish, we also tell them to scrub the dining hall, the classrooms, the offices, or even the dormitories, or even clean the window panes and the doors.
The principal acknowledged the cordial relationship between Bujumbura community, political wing, and the school that has made the institution achieve its vision.
I want to thank the community for choosing to bring their students to Bujumbura Girls and making Bujumbura their school of choice. We don't take it for granted that you have chosen on Bujumbura as your school of choice, and we really want to thank you for that support. I would also like to appreciate the CDF office. It is the courtesy of the CDF office that assisted us to tile the other classrooms, and that is why we are having all our classrooms tiled. We had some classrooms that were not tiled. I would like to say thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Honorable Joseph Oyula, for that support, and also giving us bursary funds towards school fee. This has really helped to assist us. I'm having a working team, and the teachers, I have teachers who work as early as 5 in the morning, as late as 9 in the night. I want to sincerely thank you for that, giving out yourself to support the girls' education. May God bless you abundantly. The teaching staff, we are working as a team, and this is what has made us to progressively improve in all round, be it academics, be it discipline. It is as a result of teamwork. Our work could not be made very easy without the support of the support staff. My security, my kitchen, office workers have also done their part so well, and that is what has made the school to be.
For education segment, Maisha Television, Faith Shikanga is my name. All right, with that feature, we mark the end of our today's Masomo News live bulletin. And as usual, I cannot leave without giving you a little quote, my lovely viewers. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Yeah, you have to process that. Until next Wednesday, my name is Faith Shikanga, and it is bye-bye for now.